The people of New Zealand are mourning today, but also defiant. It's a week exactly since the mass shooting in Christchurch that killed 50 Muslims who were attending Friday prayers. Today, thousands of New Zealanders gathered once again in Christchurch, indeed outside the mosque where most of the victims were killed. They were there to pray, to reflect, and to remember the dead.
لا إله إلا الله.
It was the call to prayer outside the Al Noor Mosque, followed by 2 minutes of silence, observed not just there but across the country and broadcast on national television and radio. Among the thousands attending, survivors of the attack, some of them in wheelchairs, right at the front of the crowd. And at the back, non-Muslim New Zealanders standing in solidarity, many of the women wearing headscarves, including New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern.
Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the believers in their mutual kindness, compassion and sympathy are just like one body. When any part of the body suffers, the whole body feels pain. New Zealand mourns with you. We are one.
Her remarks at the ceremony were brief, but Ardern has spoken throughout this week in condemnation of the attacks and the racist ideology behind them. She has also spoken, and as again you just heard, of peace and unity and a New Zealand that welcomes newcomers of all faiths. The Imam of the Al Noor Mosque spoke of the same things in his sermon following the prayer.
We have shown that New Zealand is unbreakable, and that the world can see in us an example of love and unity. We are broken-hearted, but we are not broken. We are alive. We are together. To the people of New Zealand, thank you. Thank you for your tears. Thank you for your haka. Thank you for your flowers. Thank you for your love and compassion.
Let's bring in now David Killick, who's a freelance reporter in Christchurch. He was at that service today. He heard those powerful moments. David, good to see you on our program. Thank you. Tell us more about the ceremony and how New Zealanders have been responding today.
Good morning, Heather. Well, I think New Zealanders are usually fairly reserved kind of people, probably a lot like Canadians. But over the last week and today, we've seen this incredible outpouring of emotion from New Zealanders. They've all come together and said, we want to stand with the Muslim community in New Zealand. And as you heard, the real message is kindness and love. And Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern underlined that, saying, we all mourn with you, we are one. And the Imam there spoke of love and compassion. I also spoke earlier with one of the Islamic New Zealand leaders, Javed Khan, and he wanted to say Islam does not represent extremists of any kind at all. It's nothing to do with religion, and we just don't own that at all. Extremists like IS, Islamic State, has nothing to do with us. So very much a really coming together of people, lots of flowers, massive floral tributes and messages and signs all around the city, and not just Christchurch, but around New Zealand too.
And around the country as well, as we see in many of these images, David, women who are choosing to wear the hijab as a show of solidarity and support as well. As that was happening,